David, the man after goes
That's
on.
exactly what I have said. In the Old Testament, you see, if you observe, Abraham even was given his house girl to sleep with.
The woman Dr. Abel Damina is speaking about is Hagar in the Bible. And according to Islamic source, she is the mother of Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam, and she is called Hajarah, the mother of Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. And the narrative has been pushed even while I was in my primary school, my secondary education, and we were meant to believe in CRK classes that what she was a concubine and Ishmael was an illegitimate child. You know, just trying to downgrade on these two people, even though the Bible says otherwise. In Genesis chapter 16 verse 3, it was mentioned that Sarai, Abraham's wife, that is Sarah and Abraham, that is Sarah took Hagar, the Egyptian slave, when Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan without a child, and gave him to be what? His wife. And when you check the Hebrew scriptures, you can see that what? The word used for wife when it was mentioned Abraham's wife, that's referring to Sarai, it was what? Isha. Also, in when it was mentioned to be his wife, referring to Hagar, it was mentioned, it was used, the word used was Isha. So we don't know where this is coming from. So she was a legitimate wife. Also, for the legitimacy of Ishmael, when you check Genesis chapter 17 verse 20, God said, what? That what? And as for Ishmael, I have heard you, I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and will increase his number. He will be father of 12 rulers, and I will make him a great nation. Also, when you check Genesis chapter 25 verse 9, the two people who buried Abraham was Ishmael and Isaac. You understand? Even though Abraham later got married to Keturah and had children with Keturah, but yet you see the legitimacy of Ishmael to be among Isaac, the both of them who buried the father. Then going into the story of Hajar proper, Hajarah, she was from different sources, even from Jewish sources. It was claimed that what she was an Egyptian princess, or either due to maybe war and everything, her status was downgraded. So when Sarai, that is Sarah too, the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, when they entered the land, they pretended to be brothers, and because the king was known to make advances to women and kill the husband, the king of the land. Now, to cut the long story short, the woman, the king tries to touch Sarah, but as a married woman, she was trying to avoid that, and she was making prayers, and Allah somehow would stop the king and would struck him with something strange to the point he can't move, he won't be able to move. So he would beg Sarah to beg her God to free him. He would do it again the second time. The same thing happened. He did it again the third time, the same thing happened. So because of that, while they were leaving, he gave Hajarah to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, and the wife who he, the king, presumed to be his sister, you understand, to go with them, according to him, to ward off evil. He doesn't know the kind of God they served that was so strong to restrict him from touching her. As time goes by, they were not blessed with children. That is Sarah too and Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, they were not blessed with children, and Hajarah was still staying with them and serving them, and Sarah to say to his husband that okay, Allah hasn't blessed her with children, so why not you marry Hajarah, and with the hopes and the favor of Allah might be upon us, and we might have a child through her. You understand? Have a child in the home of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And he did that and married Hajarah legitimately. And when you go further in the story, it was mentioned that both in the Bible and even in the Quran, although there's differences there, we don't want to go there, But it was said that Abraham should what? Sacrifice his child. That wasn't the first test. The first test was, now you've been looking for children, you've been looking for even a child. Now you've had one. Now take this child with a mother to the wilderness and leave them there, to the desert and leave them there. Now Abraham had to, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam had to obey, and he did this and took Hajarah, who was a breastfeeding mother and an infant baby, towards the desert, the middle of the desert, which at that time it was called Makkah, even now it is called Makkah, and left them there. Now Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam dropped them there and turned back and started going after leaving them in the middle of the desert. Then Hajarah said, "Oh, my husband, why? Where are you going? Why are you leaving us in the middle of this valley, this desert, where there is no one to take care of us?" Then Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam couldn't answer. He just turned and continued going. She kept asking the same question. I could imagine how hard it could be. It was on Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. He couldn't answer. He believed that, when you turn back, you might be so emotional that you can't do it again. So he just faced his front. When Hajarah realized, she said to Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, "Allahu amaraka bihadha, did Allah command you to do this?" Then he just shook his head in affirmative, and Hajarah said, "Idhan lan yudayyi'an Allah." That means, if it's Allah that have commanded you this, He would handle things. He would take care of us. Now Abraham left, and it was remaining just Hajarah and Ismail alayhi salatu salam, with just few dates and water. Now when she exhausted this water and the date, also she ran out of breast milk to feed her child. A panic attack came. She was not okay, and she decided to go look for people or help or food or anything that could avail them at the moment. She started running around, and she saw a mountain, Safar. So she would climb the mountain of Safar. On top of the mountain, she would start scanning around, looking for maybe people or water or food. Nothing. She came down and climbed the mountain of Marwa. Nothing. She did that 7 times, climbing in between Safar and Marwa, until when she was on Marwa the 7th time, she had a voice. She became quiet. She had the voice again, and she said, "Oh, I can hear a voice. If you can avail me, it will be better." Before you know, she started. The Malak al-Jibril dug the earth, either with his wing or heel, dug the earth, and water started springing up. And she rushed down, and she started, trying to get the water into her own container, you understand? While the water was still gushing out, she started saying Zam. Zam means stop, stop. While she was doing the Zam, the Prophet ﷺ later mentioned that if Hajarah was, couldn't have be commanding the water Zam to stop, that area would have been a flowing river. Understand? So she controlled the water at least, and it wasn't flowing as it was initially. Now she has assurance of water, but what's lacking? People. As human beings, we are social beings that we need people around us. You understand? And this is one thing she said to her husband Ibrahim alayhi salatu salam, saying that who are you leaving us with? Who would be with us? Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent to her the people of Jurhum. The people of Jurhum are people, Arab tribe from Yemen, and they were around that area, not far from where Hajarah and Ismail was. And Suddenly they saw some birds flocking around a particular area, and that was a clear indication that there's water present in that area. So they sent some group of men to go investigate there. So when those men got there, there were two funny questions, one from the people, the men, and one from Hajarah. It was funny, I'll tell you how. At first, the men asked, can we use your water and possibly camp here and stay here? Then Hajarah said, only in one condition, if you would promise that and give me the authority that this is my water, you understand? Then we can have a deal. Now, how is it funny? Because these men, they are a group of men, they could have just come and would overthrow her and throw her away, you understand? And, take position of the water. But no, they asked politely. And what is more funny is for a woman, a lone woman with a child, to negotiate and in that kind of manner and say, oh, this water belongs to me, even when her name is not written on the water or something. But they were noble people, and they accepted her to be the owner of the water, no problem. So they went and called the remaining people and also sent for the other their other families that wasn't present at that area. So now they formed a family, and Ismail grew up there. You understand? Hajarah trained Ismail amongst the people, and that's how Ismail alayhi salatu salam learned Arabic. The story of Hajarah shows us, the trust in Allah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يَتَّكِ اللَّهِ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ لَهُ. That whoever has trust in Allah, Allah will provide for him even from sources he didn't envision. Now, we can see that when Hajarah had this trust in Allah and said, even لَنْ يُضَيِّئَنَ Allah, that if it's Allah, don't worry, Allah will handle everything. Look at what happened. In short time, she had another family, you understand? And later on, the husband will come and visit them, you understand? And from there, a nation was created, just like as it was mentioned in the Bible, that God said he will make Ishmael a great nation. Now, a great nation of Arab was, made there, you understand? And we can see that during the time of Hajj, people still do this to commemorate the climbing of Safa and Marwa. People does this. It's a compulsory act during Hajj that you run from Safa and Marwa 7 times, and this was done to honor Hajarah, who had her complete trust in Allah. So if you love this video, please share. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.